In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know.
Hola, bon dia, alegria, Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show, the live stream, the podcast, and of course, on location with the Portugal Club in the Algarve this morning. Now, I'm actually not sure where Veronica is this morning. I think she might be elsewhere. It's like musical chairs this morning. I've moved to the Algarve for the morning. I think she's moved somewhere else, and hopefully Carl Hyde will be joining us from Lisbon in a little bit later on. But we shall see. I think funny things are happening to the global consciousness. My snooze button this morning, I'm sure, I don't know if you're experiencing something similar, and I will account for the low light conditions in just a moment and the lack of definition on the screen. And I don't mean me and my brain power. I mean, it's looking a little bit dim, isn't it? But that's what happens when you go on location. Anyway, my 5-minute snooze button extensions to my slumbers overnight, those 5 minutes of snooze seem to be about 30 seconds. Is anyone else experiencing a similar thing? Time speeding up. Oh, yeah, Veronica is in Italy. I thought so. I should have read. It's been pretty crazy, Veronica, since we've been attempting to communicate via WhatsApp. But yes, I did see Puglia. Is that right? You're in southern Italy. How lovely. So we'll talk to you in about, 10, 15 minutes, if that's okay. Heel of the boot, that's right. So I've moved from the middle of Portugal, an hour north of Lisbon, San Martinho de Porto, came down to the Algarve yesterday. Beautiful journey. And I'm sure it's nothing personal. I'm hoping it's nothing personal that when Veronica heard that, she decided to go to Italy. And we'll see. Carl Hyde, very busy at the moment, of course, in Lisbon. Hopefully he can join us as well. Thank you for your comments that are coming in on the screen. And do send messages. A little bit more difficult to get those, but we've always got tomorrow morning as well, haven't we? By tomorrow morning, we'll have set up and finessed this scenario here for live streaming. And then we'll go home after we've done that. But look, if I switch to the other cam this morning, which if this works okay, I'll give you an Algarve kind of sunset, the morning coming together here in the Algarve. That's the view out of the apartment this morning. That's quite a nice little shot, isn't it? We're at the Pestana, is it the Palm Gardens? Palm trees, plenty of, as you can see in the view there. And the Pestana logo etched onto the window. But a nice place. We arrived late last night. A lovely welcome from a lovely lady called Elsa, who was on reception. And we did a good mix, hybrid of Portuguese and English last night, and she thought it was hilarious that we wanted to try and speak in Portuguese, but then she kept lapsing into English to help us, obviously, and that was a great welcome, very, very hospitable, very good welcome. We went, as you do sometimes when you go into a self-catering apartment, so it's I think there might be a hotel part of this, I'm not sure, but it's made up of little lodges, I suppose. With a couple of bedrooms and a nice through lounge that I'm dominating at the moment, and a nice step out onto the patio that you can see there. And as I was setting up here, sat in my underpants, a man walked past, alerting me to the fact that my patio is communal, or there's a path at the bottom of it. You get a little bit of area where you can sit out and enjoy the sunshine, or the day breaking here and have a coffee. That's if you've remembered to get some coffee the night before on your late night trip to the supermarket, which you're hoping hasn't closed yet. In Carvoeiro, where we are. Oh yeah, didn't mention that. We're live from Carvoeiro this morning. This is a lovely little town, but so lovely, in fact, that the shop shut at 9 o'clock. So we had to go into Lagoa, and then where did we go? Silvish after that. And I think we were seeing, it was almost as we were approaching each supermarket, the lights were going out to close for the day. But we did find a continent, so we were able to get some self-catering goodies and have a lovely little picnicky dinner late last night. But I didn't think to get any tea or coffee. I thought, oh, it's fine, I'll go out to the cafe in the morning. That's what you do in Portugal. But it would have been great to have a cup of tea this morning. But I want some lovely water. And I see, as I look across the room here, you know those, is it Monchique? It is Monchique, isn't it, that make the lovely boxes of water. Luso have done the same now. They've got a lovely blue festive box of water from which I've drawn a little bit of water this morning. That's from Luso itself, of course. and in the Bairrada area of Portugal, halfway, roughly speaking, between Coimbra and Aveiro. That part of the world, anyway. Who's joining us this morning? Isn't this wonderful, the technology that we've got? Capricorn Chris was in 5 o'clock this morning. For real? Yes, 5 o'clock this morning. Special treat. Airport Chronicles. Don't you just hate it when humans think they are salmons swimming upstream, walking against the tide and duty free? Get with the program, people. We have planes to catch. Okay. Doesn't planes, trains, or automobiles? Capricorn Chris has got somewhere to go. Lead, follow, get out of the way if you're anywhere near Chris this morning. Now we're at the gate. This is the second point of stress. I hate the passenger journey. The second point of stress in the passenger journey. Okay. The fellow passengers that have spent all night packing and then rifles through all bags in front of the gate staff looking for passport. Because they're not as seasoned as you are. You travel at the drop of a hat, don't you? You're very used to it, very, very well traveled, and certainly back and forth from Portugal. Not everyone's as competent in that department as you. Holding everyone up, looking for the passport. Yeah, put it in your pocket. Always have it in the same place. That's the guidance, isn't it? I mean, obviously, even if you're traveling domestically within Portugal, you still need to carry your ID. So I had all our ID in one place where I knew I could just lay my hands on it. That's our advice from me and Chris to you if you're traveling. Always put it in the same place as well. Then you always know where it is. Then, yes, all very well now. Then there's the passenger that climbs the steps of the plane to ask the cabin crew, is this the flight to Faro? This is not a criticism, just comical passenger watching. It's a bit late, isn't it? By the time you've got to the steps, you're asking, is this the right? I mean, if I was in the cabin crew, especially if Ryanair, I'd be saying, no, I think you've got the wrong plane. When you do that, and then come on, sit down. And don't forget, you've had your first free question on Ryanair. If you need to ask any further questions, they will be €5 plus airport tax each question. Oh yeah, there's a tourist tax coming into the Algarve as well. That's should I have paid that as a resident of Portugal? I wonder. Or does everybody pay that? I wonder. Veronica will know the answer to that. Should residents of Portugal pay the tourist tax, or is that for? Am I being too entitled there? Alcohol on flights in a pressurized container at 36,000 feet might sound fun, but it's very dehydrating. Not good for the skin at all. Oh, follow him on Instagram for more beauty tips. Capricorn 12, top tip: when flying, stay hydrated, but not with alcohol. You're wasting your time there, Chris, I think. Excellent Capricorn Chris Chronicle this morning on the aeroplane and not public transport, not His Majesty's public transport in the UK. As the doors are about to close and the wheels are about to go up, the band Central Line comes to mind. Sunshine, walking into sunshine. Yeah. I don't think that's going to be on the Ryanair PA though, is it? That's in your personal earbuds. Or are you listening to it on your speakerphone? Are you listening to on the speaker of your mobile there, just to give your fellow passengers a nice musical treat this morning? I've got to get away. I got to do it now. I got to walk into the sun. Yes, great choice. His jazz funk pick this morning, walking into sunshine, Central Line. Check it out. Right, Mike's here as well. Bon dia, Gumpers, another world traveller. Carl, did you receive the photo and video I sent you of the Metrobus? Yes, I did, but my goodness, we're all over the place. That will get featured at some point. Definitely. Oh my goodness, my voice is going. I definitely should have had a tea or a coffee this morning. Thank you for that, Mike, by the way. Sarah, good morning to you. Kate, thank you very much. Let's make sure. Oh, and I haven't done the Portuguese citizenship test question. We'll do that. Whilst we're chatting and hanging out this morning. Portuguese citizenship test question 78. Yesterday's, what is the name of the volcanic archipelago west of mainland Portugal? That would have been the Açores. Lots of votes yesterday, and all of them correct for the Açores there. So we will do another one this morning. So let me begin the process of getting that set up as well. Portuguese citizenship test question 78. Has anyone actually decoded even if we decode what was unconstitutional, according to the Constitutional Court, about the new proposed nationality and citizenship regulations laws, it still has to go to the president, who said he would veto. But I think we shouldn't get too excited. And honestly, I still don't really know what it means and whether it affects people in the way, in a positive way that they were hoping for. If we haven't found out by the time the Tony the Portuguese is on again, I'm sure he will update us. And thank you to everybody who sent me snippets about that. I'm not all over that. Yes, on tour at the moment, which has made it a little bit more difficult. So where do we get to? Yeah, but our Portuguese citizenship tests. Question 78 then. I'm gonna probably just read that out to you and then post it a bit later on. Let me go to that. How are you this morning, by the way? Do let me know in the comments and in the chat. And if you've got something to send, I'll do my utmost best to bring it from WhatsApp and onto the screen. The easiest way now, definitely, to share things with me is because I can just go to the Portugal Club. If you're a Portugal Club member, and I do urge you to be, post it up in the Portugal Club, and then I'll go straight to it, and I'll show you how I do that in just a moment. So it was the Azores yesterday. Which island? Oh no! Which is the name of the volcanic archipelago? That was the Azores. Today we stay with islands, by the look of it. Which island produces a wine known as Verdelho? Okay, that's today's question then. Which island produces, which Portuguese island that is, which Portuguese island produces a wine known as Verdelho? Is it A, Madeira? Is it B, and we're going back to the Azores for option B, or is it C, Porto Santo? Okay, that's one I don't know the answer to that, quite frankly. So let me know which island produces a wine known as Verdelho. Is it A, Madeira? Is it B, the Azores? Or is it C, Porto Santo? That's being posted into the Portugal Club now. And I'll put it into the chat as well, so you can have a go for yourself and pop over there. And that'll be a link as well for joining the Portugal Club. And I think that's probably what we'll do for the new year. If you want me to, and I'd love to, by the way, if I can ask you to send me your pictures and videos. You can upload videos there as well. Put them up on the Portugal Club as a post, and then I can go straight to them. And I'll show you what I mean by that now. The Portuguese citizenship test has gone up and into the Portugal Club. And I'm going to just take the Algarve cam off for a moment and bring on the shared screen to show you how the Portugal Club works. And we can take a look at this. Oh, yeah, well done. Thank you. Kate is all over it straight away. A guest this morning. And it would be the same for me as well, actually, Kate. It will be a guest for me on this one. Hold on a minute. There we go. That's the Portugal Club right there. And something that I neglected to share yesterday. This was hilarious, I thought. So lots of memes, maps, and info, fun facts, and hacks. Of course, that's what we're all about at the Portugal Club. And this one, Kate, in the spirit of it, my kids keep laughing at my failing memory. Yeah, you can see that, especially if I take off Kate's own greeting this morning. Let me just hide that. My kids keep laughing at my failing memory, but they won't be laughing at Christmas when there's no eggs under the bonfire. I thought that was funny. All that sort of thing, you see. If you go and post that up at the Portugal Club, I can just share the screen and go to that and share those wonderful things with you. Okay, it's got another one for us this morning. What's this here? Let's hope it's savoury. Nice tree, Dad. Are you going to put it up yourself? No, I'll put it up in the living room. Kate really has got the hang, I think, of the Gumper sense of humour there. Oh dear, you're a one-woman advent calendar of Christmas-related memes. Thank you, Kate. Let's say a few more hellos, and yes, I am still a tourist here. That's why I'm going to pay the tax. Fair enough. Let's get the most out of it then, of being here, and give you the tourist cam. We are in the Pestana Palm Gardens, I think the name of the resort is, and it's lovely to wake up and see these palm trees here. I'm hoping you can see and enjoy it on the screen as well. A few more hellos, and then we'll have a chat with Veronica this morning. Where did we get to? Jane, thank you for your Christmas card. It looks like Henry and Nina are here as well. Yes, so Sarah Yerman's here. Morning, Team Yerman. Kate's here. Bon dia, alegria a todos from Tomab. And Gemini wishing us a good morning, everyone, as well. Andero, the Porky Feet. Bon dia, Malta. Red sky in the morning, Shepherd's warning. There were some amazing sunsets last night, and we stopped off in Alcácer Alcácer do Sal last night. And I was going to put up a video. I still will, because not everyone will see this morning's show. Where are we in Portugal? It was stunning. The estuary there is fantastic. It's a pretty little town, but it just went to another level with the sunset there. So, and I saw some incredible sunsets. If you're on the San Martino de Porto Grapevine group, the sunsets that we weren't in San Martino to see yesterday were absolutely beautiful as well. Red sky in the morning, Shepherd's warning, great 52k cycle yesterday for Andeiro, just escaped the Cardadores of Val da Ilhavo. Okay, what's that then? Tell us more about that, Andeiro. Matty's here. Hope you're feeling better, Matty. I imagine you are. Bom dia. Alegria a todos e feliz quinta-feira do minha quinta. Morning to you, Matty. Bon dia from Mel as well, who agrees that Carvoeira is lovely. Good morning from Hugh. How are you doing, Hugh? I hope you're healing well. Great news that the Portuguese government are not sending troops to Ukraine. Now they need to stop sending money to the country does not have. Says Hugh. Are you healing well, Hugh? Look, sounds like you've got your finger back on the pulse of geopolitics, that's for sure, after your double hip replacement. Not only in Portugal, Carl, you are required to be able to ID you. Yeah, no, I realise that. Do I have to pay the tax, the tourist tax? I think the answer is yes. It's like, I mean, should we start that in San Martino de Porto or the Silver Coast? €6 for everyone who crosses the border into our... Yes, says Veronica. It's like someone who stands in a supermarket queue for 10 minutes, then spends 5 minutes finding... Yeah. And also my kids. We're sat in a cafe. What would you like to drink? We've been in here already for 5 or 10 minutes, depending on how quick the service is. Not that wasn't a bit of passive aggression. Although in Alcácer do Sal yesterday, I was standing at the bar. First, I was sat down and being ignored. Sounds like I will survive. But first, I was afraid. I was petrified. No, first I was sitting down, and then I thought, okay, I'll go and stand up near the bar where the old fella is with the beer, because he obviously got served. And then I saw a fila única, pré-pagamento, and they could see me, but I was just standing in the wrong place. They watched me go from sitting down to standing at the bar to standing in the right place. It's like, well done, follow the rules. And there I was. Oh, sorry, no. What got me thinking of that is this whole thing about standing in the queue, and then you get your wallet out when you get there. My kid's in a cafe. Yeah, my kid's in a cafe. And Mrs. M, to some extent, we're sat there. We might have been there for 5 or 10 minutes, depending on whether we're in the right place to get a drink. And then, what would you like to drink, kids? Oh, don't know. We've been sat here for 10 minutes. You know we're in a cafe. You could have thought about that. What would you like to eat then? Don't know. Come on, we're in a cafe. I know what I want pretty much as soon as I've sat down. It's like someone who stands in a supermarket queue. Yeah, absolutely, Mel. 10 minutes, then spends 5 minutes checking every pocket. Again, put it in the same pocket and you'll know where it is. Henry and Nina, bon dia, a lovely day yesterday in Coimbra shopping and a tour of the free tourist train. How did you get on that? I had to pay, I think, to get on that. Algarve looks beautiful. Have fun. Look at that sky. It does look fantastic, doesn't it, with the palm trees? Veronica might be having a bit of saudade seeing these images. Matty, not in all countries, says Mel. In Australia, you don't need to carry ID unless driving or using a service which needs it. Talking about Europe, not Australia and Asia. Okay, fair enough. Planes, of course, you need it. Yes, you do. Immigration, you're going to need your passport. But again, put it somewhere, top breast pocket or something, or always where you know it's going to be. Ontragos, you just did not say that. I was assuming anywhere did. Okay. I think we've got there. Morning, T-Duck as well. Bon dia, alegria. Gumpus, tudo bem? Yes. Look, it's okay. We figured it out with the ID thing now. We had planned a day trip, but it's very foggy in Lisbon this morning. It's staying put. Time is speeding up. Weather's all over the place. Welcome to the end of 2025. Good morning. That's what we'll talk about with Veronica. What sort of year she's had, what sort of year she's looking forward to next year. Same with Carl Hyde, of course, in Lisbon. News about Hugh. He is hopefully home tonight. He's already here, Jane, talking about geopolitics. Slight problem for him. He has to be on crutches for 2 months. How am I going to keep him quiet? You're not. Face it. Rope him to the chair. I think that's not a bad idea. Just keep giving him wine. I'm on the wrong mic. Thank goodness we have a T-Duck here to tell us. I think that the microphone is too echoey. If I press this button here, now I'm concerned here because I've got not logic. Well spotted. there, but I don't think the Road X is coming through. Let me see if this or just destroys things. Is that any better there, T Duck? I'm sure you'll give us some feedback. Pardon the audio pun on that. Give me some feedback on that. Let me know. Streamer X output device. Maybe that's better now. I'm sure you'll let me know on that. Yes, sounds like a laptop mic. That's why you need to do a sound check. Pete, looks like a beautiful day, sunny and mid-20s around there in central Portugal. Lord and Lady Travanca are back. Are you back in Portugal now? Our kids have always done that. Now we take a packed lunch for them mostly. Loads of stuff you'd normally pay for in Coimbra. It's free over the Christmas season to help tourism. That's fantastic. And yes, the sound is improved. That's good to know as well. Thanks for that, T-Duck there. And yes, it was the same in Alcácer de Sal. Wanted to pay for the merry-go-round for our youngest. No, free on the house. Let's give her a nice round of applause. And let's bring her onto the screen now. Is there space on the screen? Let's take that off for a minute.
Hello.
How are you, Veronica? You're in Italy. Buongiorno. Ciao, bella. How's it going?
Ciao.
I've just got someone looking through my window at me and me underpants here. Sorry about no one needs to know that, do they, on the cam, but on the live stream? But as they walk past my house now, I didn't realize it was a communal path at the bottom. There's nothing I can do about it now, Veronica. How are you? And how is Italy?
Italy's great. I think the more I travel, the more I just love our little corner of paradise. I love seeing, all the light shows around Europe. I think that's one of the beauties of living in Portugal and living by an airport. I'm between Seville and Faro Airport, so an hour to one, hour and 15 to the other. And you can just hop anywhere. I went to the Berlin Christmas markets one year. I'm here for the Christmas lights and Christmas markets. I'll be back next week, but it's so beautiful and it's just so easy to hop a flight and cheap. Ryanair, right?
Yeah, very good. And you're as soon as you go anywhere else, you realize how lucky you are to be living on this lovely coast where I am today.
Yes, because it's sunny. I think the thing I forgot, even growing up in California, is you have that inversion layer. So in the morning, you get these clouds that come in if you're by the beach, and they don't burn off until about noon. And then they come back in about 3. And it's funny because you spend all this money. I lived in Newport Beach, El Segundo, in San Luis Obispo, and you have these clouds that sit there and you pay a premium to be by the beach, and you go inland 4 or 5 miles and they're sunny. So this is a very ocean-centric, the whole heel of the boot, right? Because you've got 3 oceans, right? You've got the Ionic, the Adriatic, and it's another one. Anyway, so you do get a lot of this overcast, wet dampness, and you really don't get that in the Algarve. I really think it's one of the rare things in the Algarve, at least in the East Algarve. You're kind of central, right? You're in Carvaru.
Carvaru, yeah.
Sounds like kangaroo. Carvaru.
That's what I'll do. I'll stand on my step and shout that. See if any of the neighbours come back at me with that. No, it's very lovely and it's very different. It does feel so different to the Silver Coast, I have to say. The big difference in the Algarve, as it struck us last night, or me certainly, there is that sense of holiday expectation. Do you know the thing I mean? That something marvelous is about to happen because you're on holiday. The Algarve is all about that, I think, isn't it?
I think it depends on where you're at. So where I'm at in Villa Real de Santo Antonio, we only have 2 big hotels and 1 little boutique hotel. So you really don't have a lot of tourist type market where you're at in Carvero with all the big hotels. And I mean, those bluffs are gorgeous with huge hotel chains and holiday homes. And so they better be on it. If you came all the way down there and spent your money and your tourist tax, then but that helps with things. If you come in and maybe you're at an all-inclusive, or you've gone to a hotel and you just spend the money and don't spend it somewhere else, it's not helping the community with like roads and extra traffic. Or Carvero has one of the best music shows that has like 30,000 people in it. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, that costs money, the extra
Yes.
staffing, and when you have hundreds and thousands of people descending every day, you've got to maintain the roads, and just the regular tax is meant to do schools and all that kind of stuff. So I do believe in the tourist tax. You're directly contributing to that community.
I'm seeing in action, Veronica. They're digging the road up outside, so the money is almost going directly from being paid at reception to being turned into infrastructure improvements outside. Yeah, absolutely. With thousands of people coming, of course they are an extra burden. But I guess they're spending money all over the place, aren't they? At every
Not
turn.
always. Not
No?
always. I found that a lot of them come in on the package tours. So if you look from the UK,
Oh,
EasyJet, TUI, they pick them up in a bus. They've prepaid their full board. They
oh
stay
yeah.
at their resort and they spend pennies. You know what I mean? Or they just stay in that one little resort. Of course, the resort will get some money, but for these big, huge, conglomerates, they've taken the hotel cost down to almost nothing.
Yeah.
So they've still
Yeah.
got to change the bedding, linens, and because they're bringing in these huge bus loads, and you see them. I mean, they fly right off EasyJet, Ryanair, Jet2, you name it, and there's a big bus waiting. They take them straight to the hotel and they plop on the sand and barely leave.
That's such a beautiful image, and I could. If you just put a little bit of sun cream on that blob on the beach, and then pick it up in a week's time.
No, those are called tomatoes. They even put on the sunblock, and they haven't seen the sun in the year. They're coming down after a year, and they sit on that
Tomatoes.
sunny beach all day, and they end up in the hospital with heat stroke.
Oh dear, this is that's not my.
Slow your roll. Little bit of sun every day.
That's not the lingering image I want of my trip to the Algarve. No, fair enough. It just occurred to me. It did that slightly affronted thing, No, hold on a minute. I live here. I'm not a tourist, and I am. I'm a tourist in the Algarve for these couple of days. Also, I've been to Puglia. It was so hot. I remember there. And be
Oh.
careful. There are mosquitoes the size of, I don't know, small dogs in it over there as well. They savaged me. And my legs looked like I'd stepped out of another time, like I was suffering from bubonic plague from the waist down. Presumably that's not such a bad thing this time of year. I don't know if you've been
No,
living-
it's cold. I haven't seen any. And if there's one in a 30-mile radius, he will find me and tell all his friends, she's there, get her.
What happened to me?
Favorite snack.
I was on a stag do with a load of guys, and actually I found myself in a shared room with some terrible snorers. So I thought, what I'll do is I'll go and sleep outside. Right? I took my sleeping bag outside.
That's never a good idea.
No, it's not, is it? And I think that mosquito you were talking about went and told his friends, and they all partied in my sleeping bag for the rest.
They tell
of the
two
night.
friends, and they tell two friends.
It's like party time. Anyway. So what are you doing over there? What sort of attractions are there at Christmas time? Is it a special Christmas thing at the moment in southern Italy? That's it, is it?
Well, they are just all about the lights because it's a whole bunch of little hilltop towns, right? Kind of like Portugal. When you get away from the big cities, it's hilltop, and you go on the little roads between the hilltops. And I think I'm going to take off my background. I don't have a pure green screen, white screen, and I like your background. But I don't think I can think and do that. So there's all kinds of great, let's see, visual effects, gives me 2 seconds, none. There we go. Okay.
There was some beautiful lighting at Alcázar do Sal. Do you ever stop off there when you're traveling up and down the country?
To where?
Alcázar do Sal.
Is that on the beach?
No, it's a little. I'll show you a picture of it in just a moment, and you can see for yourself. It's a delightful little place. I guess for me, it would be halfway between Silver Coast and Deep Algarve. I'll bring a picture onto the screen.
And I think it's the same thing. When you're looking at Portugal, everyone thinks they're going to do a coastal route, like you do a coastal route, kind of in California, and you go all the way up, Highway 1 along, the beach in Big Sur. In Portugal, the road is away from the town, so you have to kind of pop in, then come back out, then go up, and then pop in, go back out. So it's not like you can walk the coast, the San oh, why am I blanking on it? San Vincent, the trail, the Fisherman's Trail. And you can walk
Fisherman's
from the
Trail,
Algarve all the way up
Yes,
to
isn't it?
Milfont and beyond. But that's
Yes,
the only real
yes.
coastal type. And even if you want to see some of those beautiful places, you're going down dirt roads in your car. So I think we miss
Yes,
a lot
you're
of
right,
these really
actually.
cute communities.
It's true, isn't it? It's true. And my kids were saying we've seen everywhere in Portugal, and that kind of explains it in a way. They really haven't. We've barely scratched the surface, even all the time we've been here. But to really see it, you do have to get off the main roads, don't you? And you have to go, some way out of your way to really explore the biggest cities that are on the major routes. There's so much more to explore, but it takes a long time, and you have to really go off piste. The place I'm talking about. Alcázar do Sal, that was it last night. Beautiful sunset. Um,
Gorgeous,
yeah, they're about the illuminated buildings as well. That was a nice bit of Christmas lighting.
gorgeous.
Great effort yesterday, and that was their bridge with a lovely reflection in the water as well. It's very nice. No, I'll send you the name of the place. You might want to tour
Yeah.
back through there at some point if you're coming up country. But yeah, back to Italy. So what's the attraction? Looks like you got a very nice apartment there, by the way.
Yeah, isn't this beautiful? It's
Yeah, lovely.
two
Yeah.
bedrooms. It's an off summer rental, right? So during the summer it's packed. In the winter you can get these rentals just like they do in the Algarve. So what you might pay for a hotel for a week, you could get for a month here. So
Mm.
I'm paying $1,000 a month for 2 bedrooms, beautifully furnished. And then
Lovely.
right next door is a Truly house. There's a swimming pool. There's an apartment next door to me. And this is all on one estate. So you have your clicker and the big, beautiful doors open, and the owners are up above. A lot of Dutch people here, just like in Italy, have retired here. So they have a 7% tax to repopulate a lot of these hilltop towns. So I think
Right.
it's sad because the Italians all come to Portugal for the NHR, which is now gone,
Yeah.
right? So they
Yes.
all come here, and then they're like, we have to everyone's left. We have to repopulate these towns. If they would just
My
give their
goodness.
locals the good tax rate. So then they're enticing the billionaires with a flat rate tax in the north, like, Lake Como and the fancy places. So they'll come there, and they used to just pay 100,000 flat rate tax a year. Now it's up to 300,000. So they're smart at enticing these, super wealthy people with that. But then they have a 7% flat rate if you come in like on a pension. Very similar to NHR. They want people to come spend money here, but they really need to repopulate these towns. The birth rate's going down. And
Yes, yeah. Well, this is a challenge for a lot of places, isn't it, in Europe at the moment, and these different tactics. Is it working? Would you say?
oh yeah, absolutely. I've met a lot of people.
Right.
I joined a few of the groups and Facebook groups, and there's a lot of young people coming here to work remotely, which is great for them too. So
It is good, isn't it? No, I
it's-
enjoyed it. Nice little airport at Puglia as well, isn't it? And the town's very sweet as well.
Yeah, so Bari and Brindisi are the two airports. And so I
Yeah.
positioned myself in the middle. Today I'm going to go down to Lecce for a few days. That's the Florence of the South, they're trying to market it as. And then Puglia, they're marketing as the Tuscany because of the beautiful Etro Valley. And it's gorgeous here. But, living versus visiting is always different, right?
Yes, quite incredible. Yeah, and some interesting parallels there on how these southern European countries are organizing themselves for the future. Very interesting. Paul here. I'm not a tourist. I live in the Algarve. Look out to VRSA coming for the new year. Yeah, watch out for
Yay!
San Antonio. Paul's heading over there.
So Nikki D300, you're right. For the new year, they do a huge at Monte Gordo, which is the kind of the tourist town next to ours. We're not a tourist town, but if you go, 4 or 5 miles down the road, Monte Gordo is just tourists. And they put on a huge free fireworks show with big bands, and the bands that do the fireworks during their show, even when it's not that time of year. Now, are you staying down there? Because Albufeira also has one of the biggest fireworks shows in Europe.
That's it.
Yeah.
No, well, I'm not. We're going back again. We're going home before the end of the week. But yeah, just popping down for a couple of days. Not. We're not here for Christmas. We're not here for Christmas. Just a couple of days. Have a great time, Paul. Popping over to VRSA. Came up in a quiz actually. with the Marquis de Pombal. He made his presence felt, didn't he, in your town there?
Oh, yes. He created our town. I mean, that was
Yeah,
his,
yeah, it's amazing, isn't
because
it?
people always say that, oh, Villarreal was wiped out during the earthquake. It didn't exist. It was a little tiny village called Arellana, and it had already been slated to be built. And then once it started getting built, it was built like super fast. It was prefab. This stuff came down from Lisbon, and that is a crowning achievement of the Marquis de Pombal. It's beautiful. I think that's what made it
amazing
flat.
character. Yes. When you've got a blank slate like that, I guess he kind of cut his teeth rebuilding Lisbon. It was Lisbon that was flattened and not VRSA. And then, a blank canvas, and created a beautiful place on the Algarve. Alcácer do Sal is a lovely place, but the mudflats breed mosquitoes. My goodness, so don't go there, Veronica. Breed mosquitoes. Yeah, I did see the mudflats, the size of aircraft carriers. We were lucky then. Last night.
It's all timing.
Yeah, Carl Hyde saw it last night from the motorway. Apparently, he'll join us in a little while. Before he
saw
does,
the mosquitoes from the highway. Aircraft carriers.
Flying in formation, dive bombing the locals. Before Carl joins us, how has your year been then? How would you see it for yourself, for Portugal, and what are your hopes for the new year, for 2026?
I think it's been a great year. I've really focused on tight, close friends, because in what you and I do, we end up with a lot of acquaintances. You go out and it's like boom, boom, boom. I've done a lot of travel. I've really enjoyed. I've been writing historical articles for the East Algarve magazine, some other publications about Templars in the towns, and it's amazing. Just like this show, it's like, oh no, another month, another deadline. It comes fast.
Yes.
But it's really, when you write, and you write for the resident, you have to dig in and really put your thoughts together and do extra research and, make it all flow. So your brain gets even bigger on those topics. What do they say? If you really want to learn something, teach it.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's easy for me because it's been the premise of the column that I do for the resident is opinion. So I can just spout a load of personal nonsense.
That's but you still have to make it flow somewhat, check your typos and Yeah,
it's true. But what I found is that it's become much more enjoyable to actually research something in a way that I just, I was avoiding that all my school life. Just wanted to do things as quickly as possible, and I just didn't like school. And so I associated with all that sort of stuff, the book research and putting things together and sourcing things. I just thought, I can't be bothered with that. Great, I can just have opinions. But the more I've scratched the surface and been a bit more thoughtful and considerate about it, the more joy it's become. And I really hear what you're saying there. There is a great sense of joy and discovery. And we've still got so much more to see and learn and experience here in this country, just in this country alone, right? By going on that journey. Yes, it's incredible. It's so rich. It's so rich in that sense. Okay, let's bring Carl on to join us, and we'll continue our conversation about looking back. A great year, you say, and obviously it's been an interesting one for the country. We'll have a new president in January, and things remain interesting in the world beyond, in so-called reality. So we will chat about all of that after we brought Carl on here. We must have passed on the motorway yesterday, Carl. Hello, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Hello. Sorry, I'm just adjusting my screens. It's all a mess. There we go.
No worries. Here you are, joining us. So I drove down to the Algarve. I think Veronica heard, so she flew off to Italy. And you're at home, are you?
I'm at home now, but I was in the Algarve yesterday.
Were you? Wow, all roads lead. May I ask why? Was it on business?
Yeah, we've got a development down there called Springs at the Ells. So it's like 78 homes at the golf course down there, luxury properties. Very, very nice, fast-moving project. 2, 3, and 4 bedroom homes right on the golf course. Lots of infrastructure there with it too, clubs and all that kind of thing. So I could go into more detail on a separate show, but yeah, we flew down there, not flew literally, but flew down there yesterday morning, had a look around at the construction. It's going up quickly considering the size of it. Had a chat with a developer, went to see some of our people at the agency office in Villamora, which I've never been to before. It's very nice. And then went to the British supermarket, filled up on junk for Christmas.
You went to Tesco, didn't you?
It's called, I think it's called the Food Co.
That's right, yeah.
It's something. I've not had any HP sauce for a month now, so I stopped.
Oh, bless you.
So did the important things. Went and looked at a luxury development, and then topped up on HP sauce. So I'm all.
Do you know what I saw Colin over the weekend? We were celebrating his birthday on Saturday night, and I think, and then I was at a dinner party with him on Sunday, and he said he went to the food company, the place you're talking about, where you can get all the British grub. And he said, I only went in for 3 boxes of tea bags, and it cost me €160. And people are like, what? Really? Tea bags are expensive? He said, no, it wasn't the tea bags. It was all the other things. By the time I got to the checkout and I bought chocolates for Christmas and this, that, and the other, €160 he spent in there.
No, that's it. And none of it's health food that I'm buying. I've got to be honest with you. Here's the thing, and this is what really winds my wife up. I'm buying English bread, so I'm buying Warburton's bread, Warburton's crumpets, because I guess the American equivalent would be like Wonder Bread. It's just what I brought. So I still miss it. If I'm having a full English breakfast, then I want my English staples.
I think the brown sauce, HP sauce, is described as a superfood. So put plenty of that on, mate. I think it's the elixir of life or something. I read in the Daily Mail or something.
For the Americans, that's like our A1 sauce.
Yeah.
Right. A1. I haven't tried that. Right. Okay. It's kind of puts hairs on your chest. It's got a little bit of how would you describe HP? It's kind of fruity and tangy. It's quite
vinegary, fruity, peppery, wonderful.
With the Houses of Parliament on the I don't know, how did that happen? It's not exactly a celebration of your love of British politics, I'm guessing, each time you eat it.
No, definitely not. No. I'm more on the Guy Fawkes side of things, to be honest with you.
Yes.
But no, it's a special sauce, and you know what? All 3 kids love it. My wife hates it. She thinks it's as good as poison, and thinks it spoils every meal. All of my kids love it, so I've indoctrinated them with the HP.
Well done, mate. A great legacy achievement there. The kids on HP. So, how has your nice mug? How's your 2025 been? Well, let's dwell a little bit on the year that we're in. Although I'm sure the rest of it, these last flipping 13 days of it, are just going to disappear as though it were like a few hours. But how has 25 been for you, Carl?
From a business point of view, it's been excellent. It's been my best year in real estate. It's year 4 for me in the business.
Well done.
Thank you. It does take a long time, for anybody who's thinking about getting into real estate. It takes a long time to get up and running. There's a lot to learn. You're always learning. It doesn't stop, especially when the government keep changing the rules, which is, you're trying to stay one step ahead, and it's not possible. But it's for me personally, it's been a good year. I think for our business, the agency, it's been a good year. I get to see the numbers internally, so lots of new business, more listings, more buyers. So for us, it's growth. I think for the market overall, it's been a little bit bumpy at times because we've had a lot of uncertainty this year with changes to visa rules and things like that. But overall, I'd say I'm pretty positive going into 2026. If we lead out from 2025 to 2026, then I'm optimistic. I know there's some new rules coming in that maybe seem like they don't benefit perhaps new international buyers. We've got this new flat rate EMT. I know Veronica mentioned that. It's not a positive, but there are more positives. There are going to be tax incentives, reduced VAT on new construction and things like that, which should make a significant difference to new home prices. I guess more in the medium term. I'm not going to see as much of the effect of that in 2026, I don't think, because that has to feed through the system. But I think there are a lot of positives. And you've got to work with what you've got ultimately. So people are always going to want to buy homes, and we're there to help them do that.
Very good.
Well,
So
the
it sounds
thing
like
is,
a good for both of you.
I'm sorry.
Well, no, carry on, Veronica.
To your point that the year has still been great, I think what it is it filters out, when changes happen, it filters out the people that are iffy and the people who really want to be here and the people who are serious about it. It keeps those people in the pot. So maybe you're also not as like scattered all over the place. The people who might get here and get very disenchanted with it are going to leave. They're going to find any little reason to leave. So the ones that are serious are going to stay. And it sticks with what we've said the whole year. If you want to buy, it's for you. Don't wait for the bubble to burst. Don't wait for this or that. If it suits you today and it works for you today, jump in today, because we don't know what the future is going to hold.
You can't really predict it. Yeah, that's it. A lot of people, I mean, it's human nature, I mean, if people they're spending a lot of money, especially if they move into a foreign country and they don't, even for people that have been here maybe on holiday 3 or 4 times and got a feel for it, you still don't really know the country. So if you're going to invest whatever amount, it could be 200,000, it could be 2 million. It's still a big decision. So if you've got uncertain, things in your mind that you're not sure about, and some people look for an excuse not to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, my advice would be
happy.
Yeah, just to check out what those rules are and how they're really going to affect you. I've got a lot of friends here that came from the US, and obviously, they're disappointed with the potential rule changes for the 5-year rule changing to a 10-year rule. But they're still staying. They're not like, well, that's it. I'm packing up and I'm going home. They weren't here just to get a passport. They're here for a whole bunch of reasons. A
residency is still a residency. You're still a resident of the EU, and in America, there is the bill out right now to make you renounce if you have double citizenship. So it doesn't even benefit them.
Yeah, that was some interesting news.
Sorry.
That was some interesting news. I mean, that just sounds like and another thing. I mean, it doesn't sound like it's got any real chance, does it? Isn't it just a little bit more sort of political posturing?
No, they're really. I mean, the bill is in, and now it's got to pass. Whether or not it passes, it depends on all the other junk they bolt on top of it. Unfortunately, it's like, oh, okay, well, I'll vote for you if you pass this, or I get a new. Arkansas got a new visitor center. They signed all that junk. Yeah. So you never know. But they're talking about, if this passes, if you don't renounce your other citizenship. So in a case like me, I have German and American, that they'll just by default say you didn't take the time and renounce it, you lose your American citizenship, which then if you're talking pensions.
That's it's pretty brutal too. There's not many cases where I would approve of someone being stripped of the citizenship.
I don't suppose you ever thought you'd hear that in your lifetime, Veronica. Now, going back though to what you were saying about where people are at and motivations. 2025 was the year of Portugal we'd done on YouTube, wasn't it? It was like, oh my God, I waited 7.5 minutes for a coffee. I'm done with this place. that was 8 minutes. That's my absolute red line. Will not be treated like this. And people were just coming up with all this stuff, which I think was like a big sort of emotional outpouring, maybe projection, other traumatic responses and stuff. But I think you make a really important point. If you like it, if your soul is happy here, it's worth putting up with some of the external challenges, because it's compared to what? All of this stuff is going on all over the world. And I think if you can find a kind of 80-20 balance where your heart and soul is basically, and your sense of well-being is in place here in Portugal, that's worth treasuring and building on, isn't it? Rather than focusing on the things that are a problem that might make me be going back to international living, thinking about what's the next place I'm going to go to. And I think that's where we're going to be in 2026. I think it's going to be a lot of looking within now, rather than, looking out, where do I go now? What's, the kind of shiny thing phenomenon. I think that's going to get harder and harder to do, actually. What are your thoughts on that, Veronica?
Well, so I think you touched on so many great points. And I think you are where you are, and you take that with you wherever you go, right? So what do I like? I'm the queen of shiny object. Look at me. I've got to check out every new town. I'm in Italy this week. I kind of get that 10-year itch, like, okay, well, now what? Do I need to go rent by you guys up there in the north? What am I going to do? And then you go travel and you realize there's no place better in the whole world than, where the river meets the ocean for me. But then I think there's the people that are constantly focused on what's bad about everything. And yeah, people get together and you complain and this happened or this happened and you find a solution. And there's people that are solution oriented, and there's those people, they just like to complain. And if that's all you want to do, stay home and complain, don't come here. And it was also the past few years were these bloggers that were completely irresponsible. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. They got on for likes and hits and they weren't honest. And anything that they could get people over here or get more likes or use clickbait or whatever they were doing, it wasn't truthful. And that's why I love your show, because we come here and we're just honest, that you have to take an honest look at yourself and why you want to be here and your goals and your why, and realize nothing's perfect in the world. But if you're here and you're happy here and you want to be here at least for a 10-year real estate cycle, it's going to be okay. Yeah.
I like I say, I think there's going to be a focus on that, and human beings will necessarily be, will be minded or prompted to look more inside themselves for happiness, rather than the decades we've been through. It kind of started in the 80s, didn't it? 80s, 90s, sort of 2000. And when people, globalization, it was really cool, wasn't it, to have so much cheap air travel and to be able to go and check out everywhere. And
I wish it was the 90s again. I really do.
Why? God, why is that? Because of cheap air travel and that sweet spot of culture?
Yeah, just that's the time I was in high school. I left high school, got my first jobs and things like that, and I did do a lot of reminiscing these days about that time in my life. I know I'm 46, soon to be 47, and I feel it, and I think that was the best time for me. And I see videos on YouTube now where people were in like high school or something with an old camcorder or street views. I saw one yesterday actually of the first HD video in New York City by Sanyo or something. They had and it was in something like 92, and it just looked so awesome. Nobody had a phone, everyone just walking around, and I thought, oh, if I could just go back. But there you go, we can. So just a little,
everyone was just walking around. No, definitely feeling that. Exactly. All of this is in the mix at the moment, isn't it? So we're chatting away, and it's coming up to 9 o'clock. So let's get your thoughts for 2026 then. Portugal, real estate, personal, whatever you want to share, really. Ladies first. And actually, we when Carl joined us, I think you were talking about how your social scene had changed a little bit, Veronica. Consolidation of friendships and social life. That was interesting as well. I don't know if you want to weave that in.
I think it's really important. I think as bloggers, or those of us that are big extroverts, and you thrive and you get energy from the groups and the fun and being with other people. Sometimes you forget, you kind of self-sacrifice for, making sure everybody else is happy and making sure everybody else is come first, and you're running around helping everybody, that you kind of forget yourself sometimes. So this year I had some really great friends that helped remind me, what, they're adults, they can do that, let them fail, because sometimes failure helps you become who you are. But I hate to see people fail. It's like, there's a hole in front of you, don't fall in it, And of course, when we're talking fraud and issues in real estate where it's people's home, you have to, that's a responsibility. That's a stewardship. And then there's just people, if they're unhappy and they want to sit and whine and complain, going, okay, well, see you later. And so because our town is so small and I know so many people, I've made smaller group get-togethers, the people who actually care about me too, not just who I can introduce them to, or who, unfortunately, there's those people, they walk in and I'll sit at dinner and someone will walk by. We just had a nice dinner and outside. someone walked by and literally just stopped and started talking to the group. And I had to learn, okay, I can say hello and then continue my conversation, because people walk by the whole time and you never get to chit chat with people in front of you. But this person stood there and said, who's that guy? Like they expect to be introduced to every single person they don't know. And so I'm learning to, okay, hi, oh, if you want to make an appointment with me, great, call me and we'll sit and have some one-on-one time. So that's coming back into yourself and realizing the people that also care about you, not what you can give them. And it sounds so bad, but I kind of had to go, wow, I've had so many acquaintances that I'm not focused on my close friends. So I'm coming inside and focusing on close friends, close friend groups. And then I have a little group just for close friends. And other people have said, hey, we heard you have another group. And I'm like, oh, I actually had to say out loud, oh, that's just for very close friends, I don't know.
You're not in it.
And I just go, who told them about it? Like, okay, which one of you guys is getting off the list because you told them I have a group?
Yeah, amazing.
But that sense of entitlement. I know you, therefore I have to know every single person you know.
That's very interesting. Very interesting. And strong boundaries then might be boundaries, another continuing theme for 2026. Somebody was saying to me, because I get this sometimes in my WhatsApp groups, you'd be someone just says, where can I get a sausage or something like that? Yeah. And now I'm quite Portuguese about it. I'm like, hola, bom dia, tudo bem? And I don't answer the question. I just get them to be a bit more civil about, engaging. This is how we do it here. You've got to say hello or good afternoon or good morning first. And then someone else said to me, when someone's shared their soul in the group, and they've made a piece of art and they've shared it in the group, and then someone just completely ignores it and says, where can I get pigs in blankets this time of year? or like cranberries.
Me.
It's when that happens 10 minutes after somebody's posted something. So somebody puts something in, like a video or a picture or something, and then literally just minutes after, somebody posts something that's completely benign and has nothing to do with it. That happens a lot in groups. And I just think, would you not have given like an hour just to let other people absorb that and make a comment for their hard work? No, like you just said, where's the sausages? So.
Well, to that point, in a WhatsApp group, some people are just, oh, shoot, I need to ask the group something real quick. So they're not scrolling through. And sometimes in these groups, there's so much chatter that you need to be sat and go through each thing. So sometimes, it'll be hours before I check, and then I scroll up, and then I need 20 minutes to go through and comment on each one of these things.
I think
smaller is better.
I think we need some group etiquette lessons for some people. How to behave.
Well, that's the plan for 26 as well. Then how to thrive in WhatsApp groups.
I'll have to chat GPT to start some classes.
What else? What else then, Carl, for 2026 for you? More HP sauce, obviously.
I'll send you some.
I bought 6 bottles, so that should see me through for most of the year. So I'm well stocked.
Okay. Well, the advice from Paul is go to the one in Portimao, take a list and stick to it. It's like going to IKEA. It's not possible. It's not possible to stick.
It's when you go on the sweet aisle and you've got fruit salads and blackjacks and all these other things. Like, you know what? Yesterday I was just like, you know what? It's Christmas. Just throw it in the bag. Don't look when you go to the till. Just swipe that card and
move on.
That's what I did.
Yeah, or actually buy loads of sausages, then you're ready when that WhatsApp message comes up and you can sell them on at a profit. Just an idea. So
I do have everything ready for a full English breakfast on Christmas morning. So that's a tradition. So I've got everything ready in the freezer, ready to go. So I'm looking forward to that.
Very good. Very, very good. And for the year ahead, more deals. Reach out to Carl, of course, if you're looking to buy in and around Lisbon, but of course, connected to a network that can help you buy anywhere in Portugal and the world, in fact, with the agency. Any other dreams for 26, Carl?
Dreams for 26? I don't know. Getting the standard stuff, get in shape, work better, work smarter, all those kind of things. I think that's what everybody does.
The first week of January.
Yeah,
I was very clear not to use the word resolution, mate. I wasn't going to do the kiss of death on it.
You know what? Just on, it's a bit of a side note, but on resolutions and things like that, I started to trying to drop a few pounds recently, and it was getting past summer, which is always a little bit hedonistic, and there's friends and family coming over and all this kind of stuff. And it was getting to the end of October, and I thought I really would like to focus on getting more in shape. I thought, well, January's just around the corner. And I thought, no, this is a trap you're going to fall into. You're going to wait until January to do it. And in between now and January, you're just going to live your best life. And it's going to be a lot worse on January the 1st. So I've got everybody calls everything a hack these days. So I started in October. I've started a lot of things in October, the changes that I want to make for 2026. Because I think there's nothing worse than waking up on the 1st of January and realizing the fun stopped, It's true, isn't it? You wake up and think, oh my God, I've got to actually do all this stuff that I've been promising myself for the past 3-4 months. So no resolutions for the new year, but definitely work a bit smarter. With regards to real estate, I am genuinely optimistic for the next year. We have had a good year at the agency. There are a lot of changes, but there's also some positive things as well. Mortgage rates are significantly lower than what they were a year ago, 18 months ago, probably like by about 1%, So these things do drive, buying activity and things like that. And I think they may even get a little bit lower in 2026. Obviously, they've not got a crystal ball. So
won't it be cool if you're right, your social standing and commercial standing is going to go up. They're going to think you have got a crystal ball. So we'll check back in on that later next year.
Yeah, and I think that's it really. There's a lot of changes. There's a lot to take in, and it's not just in Portugal either. There's things like we just touched on there, the thing in the US about dual nationality laws possibly changing. These things that we can't control. I mean, we can't control a lot of what happens in Portugal, let's be honest, but when it's happening in the US or anywhere else in the world, then we can't affect that. We just get on with our jobs and do what we can. People will still want to come here. Just touching again on what you said before about, these people who come here and get tired of it and the 80-20 thing. I found that the longer I stay here, the more I like it. I don't like everything about living here. Some things really, grind on me and kind of piss me off. But mostly, it's true though, isn't it? Mostly I look at it and think I could go back to England at any time. And I don't want to do that. I'm not even remotely tempted to do that. I like my life here. I like the country. And you do learn to adapt. All those things that can be minor grievances on a day-to-day thing, you kind of become a little bit Portuguese about it. And you think, well, this is just how it is. And it becomes normal. And you sort of change your mentality. And I think that's a good thing. It should be part of why you move away from where you are, whether that's the US, the UK, Germany, Australia, South Africa. You move because you want to experience new things. You don't want to just transplant what you had there, plonk it in the middle of Portugal. You want to try some new stuff. So be patient, and it will come.
That is a mic drop. The big distinction there is like not how can I make this place or any new life anywhere in the world yield to me and what I want, but how can I adapt and learn about myself. And that is definitely on offer here, isn't it?
And then complain about it in private,
And then complain about it, moan about it with people. I mean, that's quite Portuguese, isn't it? Because on the Expats Portugal webinar last Thursday, João Amaral from Rory's Cars, he was hilarious. I was talking to him about the year he's had, and he said, actually, it's been quite a good year for us and for the country, actually. And it's like he was kind of realizing that he was saying some really good positive things. And he said, we do like to complain, the Portuguese. We love it. We love complaining. But actually, it's been quite a good year. And he was chuckling to himself. Like, I can't believe I've just said that. so positively. It is quite a positive thing. Quite a Portuguese thing to like have that glint in your eye whilst noticing things that aren't working, but still be, like, oh, well, let's have a drink, let's have lunch, let's enjoy the sunshine. And that little glint of like, life's not so bad after all. That's not a bad little Portuguese characteristic to learn. Very, very cultural indeed. Thank you so much. A few more comments. Sorry to keep you, but it's been lovely chatting with you. Look, we sold almost everything, showed up in Lisbon with 2 suitcases.
Same here.
Felt great to purge all the crap. Now we have new crap.
Me too.
Yes, me too.
too.
Me too. I caught new crap.
Isn't that great? Carl, you hit bang on the nail. We feel Portugal gives us, it's not 80-20, it's 85-15. Look at that. I thought you were going to say it's like, it's 85-25. Not only are you finding a balance, but overall you'll get even more out of life, more than 100%. Would love nowhere else. You nailed it, Carl. Nowhere is perfect. There are so many positives here. Absolutely. It's all relative, isn't it? In many ways and certain parts of life. We also sold everything amazing. More crap there as well, quickly developing. Nesting, I think it can be cool. Thank you very much, Veronica, Carl. Been lovely, to have these monthly check-ins and chats and fun and offer information to people, help people out, talk about life here in Portugal. So I really appreciate you both. Thank you so much for doing that, and wish you a great Christmas, friends, family, and a fabulous, wonderful 2026. Thank you so much to you both.
Thank you, Carl.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
We'll see you in 2026.
We'll
see you then. Thank you so much. And we'll see you again in the morning. Take care. Bye for now. Have a great day. Ciao, ciao.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show